everyone, Kelly Bear here. It's been a while. I think it's been about 4 weeks since I uploaded a video, and probably, well, definitely a lot longer since I did a face forward video. I've actually had some people send me messages or comment under my videos that they do miss the face forward ones as well. I've been doing a lot of the face down videos, you know, the camera pointing at the desk. And I've really enjoyed making those, but yeah, I guess maybe sometimes I should also show my face. So this isn't like an old school style Kelly Bear video where it's just me and my laptop, me and my webcam coming at you. And as you'll see from the title, as I always say, because I'm assuming someone has read this title in order to click on the video to watch it. Today I am going to be talking about Anna at Astral Lady Tarot's Show Me How You Practice tag, which I really love. She made a video a few weeks ago where she was literally showing us some of the ways that she practices, sort of as in like how she reads the tarot. I guess it's show me how you practice as in show me how you read the tarot, because it's not something that we often see a lot on TarotTube. I mean, there's lots of people doing tarot readings, but I find that the accounts that do like a lot of tarot readings are more dedicated to that, and those of us that are a bit more showing decks, talking about books, you know, doing tags, that kind of thing, tend to do less of the sort of showing people how we read. There are some folks that will do like pick a reading and stuff like that. I can think of some people off the top of my head that do that, that also do the kind of things that say I do or that Anna does. And yeah, I'm with Anna. Like I do like to look at decks, and the community does like to look at decks, but I also want more. And I've had people comment before, like, I don't just want to see decks, and that's fair. But often the times I've found that whenever I've made videos that veer off that and sort of go into maybe theory or practice or showing, you know, spreads that I use, those don't get that many views. So it's either just a very small proportion of people that actually want those videos, or people say they want those videos but then they just don't watch them when they're provided. I don't know which it is, but I really enjoy making those kinds of videos. I do like showing decks as well, obviously, but there are times when I sort of step back from looking at deck videos, you know, unboxings, walkthroughs, reviews, that kind of thing, because I'm just sort of not interested in buying any decks at the time, because I'm just sort of really getting on with what I already have, or I'm just not in a place where I can afford any. I'm just really not buying anything, you know. So there are times where I'm not looking at those kind of videos and I'm seeking out other kind of videos, and I watch WitchTube as well as other stuff. So I watch all sorts of YouTube. I don't just watch TarotTube. I do sort of partake in quite a few different realms of the YouTube sphere. So yes, Anna's tag, which was great. I did click on the tag to see, and there have been quite a few VRs to it, which I would like to get on and have a look at some point. Watch some of those VRs. Myself and Anna did our own Show Me How You Practice on her channel. She invited me to join her on her channel last Saturday, and I'll see if I can remember to link it in the description box below, where we did readings for fictional characters from spooky TV shows and films. And this came about because in Anna's Show Me How You Practice video, she talks about using the prompts from Aidan Wachter's Changeling. It's a book by Aidan Wachter, which I do have. I can actually see it on my shelf right now, just sitting here. There are a lot of journal prompts in the book for each chapter, which are sort of qualities. I think it's about 50 or 60 qualities of a witch. Maybe it's 65. I can't remember off the top of my head. But Aidan provides things to think about, to ponder, to journal on, to explore, as well as exercise. It's a really great book, folks. Like, if you haven't checked out any of Aidan Wachter's work and you're interested in witchcraft and or getting into a magical practice without any you know, tradition attached to it, or without any sort of like, and something that's very simple and accessible and easy to follow, Aidan Wachter is always my top recommendation, and has been for about 6 years at least at this point. So Anna was saying, get back on point, get back on track, that she takes those journal prompts and uses them as questions for readings, or will even use, you know, if there's like 5 journal prompts, maybe even use each prompt as a spread for as a position for a spread. So you've got like 5 spread prompts, 5 spread positions. I am so rusty. Clearly. And I was like, why have I never done that before? Like, I use that book, I've been working through that book on and off since I've had it, at least 2 years I think at this point. Like the Monica Badersky books, guidebooks to like the Shadowland Tarot, the Shadowland Lenormand, the Between the Worlds Oracle. I use those prompts that she always provides, journaling prompts in all her guidebooks to her decks. But I'd never thought to actually do a reading on those, and I was like, that is such a clever idea. And I'm like, suddenly I have these books on my shelf that I have all these prompts in that I can use to either pull cards on that particular prompt or use those prompts as positions. Like, so exciting. And then I commented underneath Anna's video that I have done readings for fictional characters. And this is something I've done for a really, really long time, and it comes out of the fact, I think, because I'm not a professional tarot reader. I am a perpetual student, a perpetual amateur. I've never read professionally. I've read for other people, family and friends, which I think a lot of us have, acquaintances. I have also read for strangers in public spaces, whether I've been in a cafe or a bar or a PARK. I have to spell it because the doggo is just there, that little, not that one, that's my emotional support pumpkin. This is my furry emotional support pumpkin, just there. Dr. Normie is sleeping, but I think she's half asleep, so if I say PARK properly, she will jump up and get very excited. But anyway, I've done readings for people in such situations, people that I don't know, but I've never been paid for a reading. So therefore, you know, what makes a tarot reader? I've never been done professionally. So for me, there's been times also when I was younger where I didn't have people necessarily to always read for, and so I would read for film characters, book characters, TV show characters. It's really, really fun. You can read for events going on in the news. And I did actually mention in the live chat that I did with Anna that one of a fun way to do readings is to do readings for shows that are currently airing, that you have, that not all of these episodes are available, and it's currently ongoing and being written and produced and going out on, you know, TV, whatever, streaming service, what have you, because then you're in a position where you don't know what's happening. I guess you could do that with a show that you've started watching but you've not watched all of it yet. You could, I guess, predict, and that's something I did do. It was really cool when I did Tom Benjamin's, was it Tarot on Earth, or it was his Tarot Summer School like video course that he did a few years ago. I can't remember if he provided the prompts for those characters or those were the characters that I picked. I can't remember now, but there were it was readings for the Shit family from Schitt's Creek, and I did readings for all of the characters, and I can't remember if I came up with them myself or if Tom had provided them. But it was really fun to see that clearly other people do read for fictional characters. And actually, I think some of the first videos that I saw Tom Benjamin putting out years and years ago were readings for like Romeo and Juliet and like other like fictional characters. And it was like, oh yeah, so other people do this. And this was much earlier in my sort of watching of YouTube, TarotTube rather, and sort of getting to know other tarot readers, because it was just something that I had just done naturally to provide myself with fodder for reading, as it were, imaginary querents, right? I'm actually interested to see what other questions were. I'm just going to pause and grab the book that I did those questions in and have a look. Hold on a second. Right, so I've got the book. So hang on, what was it? So it was the Tarot Readers Academy course that I did back in 2020. So there were practice questions, practice readings. Yeah, I don't know if these were, if I've created these practice readings myself or if they're provided, but I've got David Rose, yeah, and then Moira Rose. Have I done all of them? Alexis Rose and Johnny Rose, and I did Stevie as well. So yeah, I did these readings. And when I had done these, I hadn't actually watched all of Schitt's Creek. Schitt's Creek hadn't actually finished. There was still a season to go, and so it was fun because this was a really roundabout way of me realizing that I had done these readings and sort of almost like predicting what was going to happen, or providing advice and seeing if that was what they did, if that makes sense. Anyway, that was a very sort of roundabout way. I've been 10 minutes and I've just been gassing about just not necessarily getting to the point. Anyway, so I've mentioned that Tom Benjamin, oh no, that actually, bring it to Tom Benjamin. Show me how you practice. Tom Benjamin for a good while now has been doing videos called Watch Me Work, where he does demo spreads. I mean, definitely at least since almost a year, because I remember sitting down in like November, December with my Bonefire Tarot, because he had gotten the mass market, the new mass market version, the borderless edition. And I was doing practice readings along with him for the same subject. I was with the same deck and the same question, but pulling my own cards. And I very specifically remember that was like November or December. I think it was between like Christmas and Halloween and Christmas. It just sticks in my head. I don't remember much these days. I just remember like the most random, not necessarily helpful stuff. Helpful in the context of this video, maybe, but not generally in life, such as it is. So there we go. To have a little sip of my tea. Oh my god, it's so good. It's spiced apple cider blend from the Wee Tea Company. And it's so good. So I'm listening out because I can't tell if they're... Basically, before I started filming, I sat here for 10 minutes like a lemon, waiting for a bloody helicopter to bugger off, because it was just like roaming around above like where I live for ages. And I'm just like, when is this going to stop? And then it finally went away. I don't think it's come back. It's London life. There's always something going on. So yeah. So if you want to see some cool like spread readings and like how someone practices, I can really recommend Tom Benjamin's Watch Me Work videos, as well as the like Anna's videos, and I guess also the VRs to Anna's tag. So yeah, we did this live chat. It was really fun. We've been speaking about doing a live chat. I think the first time she mentioned it was like, maybe we should do a live chat together or do a video together back in like 2020, because I hadn't been making videos, because you know, 2020, right? And I was just really stuck. And she's like, we could always do a video together. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And then we just sort of like occasionally battered it around and then just didn't think about it for ages. And then yeah, she said she was inspired by my comment. Did I even say what I put underneath her video, or did I just start rambling? Oh shit, did I just start rambling? I can't remember what I said 5 minutes ago. So yeah, I commented, oh, I do readings for, I've not thought to use those books, those journal prompts as reading prompts, but I do read for fictional characters from like books, TV shows, what have you. And she was like, oh my god, she contacted me and was like, oh, I love this idea, this is so exciting. Do you like want to do a live, like a spooky live, like read for spooky things, spooky shows? I was like, yes. So that was, I think I'm just closing the loop on that thought, because side quests and me are a thing, or me and side quests and me, both ways round makes sense, right? I am so rusty. So yeah, anyway, I forgot to do an update of also what I've been up to. So I was having a social media break. I had like a full social media break for 2 weeks. I've been back on social media, imbibing the past week, but not on it myself actively participating as much, other than like posting about Bi Visibility Day and posting that my shop has reopened and stuff like that. So I've been back at work this week, and it's been so slow going because we went away on holiday. I was away in Scotland for almost 2 weeks, and despite, you know, factoring in rest days throughout the holidays so that I wouldn't like crash too hard, because we were doing like walks and things, and Nomi most of the time having to be in a little canine backpack because she's still got a leg injury that's been ongoing for like almost 3 months now. Don't worry, there's things being done and physio stuff to be booked, and it's moving in the right direction. But yeah, she couldn't do the amount of hiking that we would usually do, and so yeah, we got back and I reopened my shop and was like, right, back to work, and just so exhausted, really dragging ass. And I've been just struggle busing it a bit, sort of in this past week, trying to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, that's unfortunately the living in a chronically ill body. It doesn't always let you do what you plan to do, including work. So yeah, anyway, that was a bit of a side track from what I was talking about, but if you know my videos, that's half of the course. And I just wanted to like say where I'd been and what I've been up to. I was having an autumn break, because it's actually my favourite time to take a break is autumn, because it's my favourite time of year. So, and it's not too hot for me, especially up in Scotland in September. So yeah, what does show me how you practice mean to me? Yes, I'm like crossing off notes here. So, and then I realised I had forgotten I have notes and then I don't follow them, which is why you've just got that weird continuation of my update after the fact. I can cross it off now though, that bit about the update. I can cross off that I've mentioned Tom Benjamin and that the live chat that me and Anna did. What it means to me, show me how you practice. So for me, like for me, not obviously, that's why I'm explaining it. It can mean a couple of things. So in Anna's context, it's show me how you practice reading, in like how you do a reading. So for her, she's using tarot. I don't know if that's the thing actually, in her video, I don't know if she was using the prompts in the book to practice. This is where I'm getting the thing with what it means to me. Or was she using the prompts in the book to show you how she practices tarot, as a professional reader, how she reads the tarot, her style? Could be both, right? And I interpret it as both, which is where I'm getting at. Nearly fucking 20 minutes into a very long ramble. Sometimes I'm like in the back of my head, I'm like, do I just can this video and start again and try and be succinct? But then I have some people message me going, your videos are too rambly and whatever. And I'm like, okay, yeah, they are. But, there's a problem with trying to make videos being neurodivergent and trying to stay on track. Hence why I have notes, and they don't even always, and often actually don't always help or work. I always miss something. And then I have other people going, no, we like the rambles, I like the rambles, I enjoy it, it's fun, or it's just sort of more personable. So I just do me, and sometimes I edit my videos down a bit more. I try to make them more succinct, and I'll like stop and re-record something. But I am tired, I'm dragging ass, I feel like a potato. This is my first video back, so argument should be like it should be snappy and polished, but I'm getting back into the swing of things. This is my first face forward one, other than doing a live chat with Anna last week, which is different because I'm like, it's live and I'm a guest on someone else's channel. It's a bit different when you're like doing your own video for your own channel and it's not live, it's pre-recorded. But yeah, I will not be offended if I am not your cup of tea, because no one is everybody's cup of tea or coffee or whatever the fuck, like a smoothie, who knows. Oh my god, this tea is so good. So yeah, so for me, I see it, show me how you practice, the tag meaning show me how you practice, like when you need to study and or literally practice the tarot, how do you go about that? But also, how do you practice? How do you read the tarot? What is your style? What is the system? What are the decks that you use? What are the spreads that you use? How do you practice? So I'm taking it from both points. So today I'm going to show you a little bit of both. Well, one is very much show me how you practice, as in you practice to get better, in to repeat something over and over to learn and to learn a skill. And the other one is a little bit of both. It's a little bit of how to practice, but also how I actually incorporate things into my practice, how I read the tarot. And it's not so much a style, is a thing that I do as that perpetual tarot student, always learning, always incorporating new things, constantly tinkering with my practice, which is something that I mentioned to Anna in that live video again, that live chat. Constantly sort of having a little, constantly futzing with my tarot practice, which is why I have so many notebooks. I'm looking up there because I've got a stack of I keep looking up at my bookshelf, stacks of notebooks and things like full of notes, obviously, because the notebooks, oh my god, state the obvious. Okay, so the first thing, this book, I can't remember how long I've had this book. I don't know if I got it at the beginning of last year or the beginning of the year before, or the spring the year before. Either way, I've had it maybe 2.5 years at least, and it's 2000 tarot practice questions. Improve your tarot reading skills, second edition, and this is by someone called Elizabeth Smith. I got this pretty cheaply. I think there's a number of practice question books. This was the one I went for, and I showed this on the live chat video on Anna's channel, and loads of people were interested in this book. So for those of you who haven't seen it, it is literally 2000 tarot practice questions, and they really run the gamut of like really like mundane everyday things to like really big sort of philosophical questions, and each one has a name. So it's literally personalizes it in the sense that there's a name of a person attached to the question, and because it's 2000 questions, there's 2000 names. I haven't seen any reproductions of names, but I could be wrong. But it's interesting because there's some really like fun names, there's some really old-fashioned names, there's names from different cultures, which I really like. So it's a real like mixed bag. So and what I tend to do, so how I practice with this book is I will just, it's like bibliomancy, right? I'm just like boop, 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 and then there's a page, and then sometimes it depends, right? Sometimes I'm like, and I'll just like pick the one that my finger lands on or the nearest to. So this one is question 1393. Ben asks, where should I be focusing efforts in my business? Interesting, right? So you have a real mix of questions. Or sometimes I will like read like all of the questions on that page or both pages and then decide, but 99% of the time I will just do like burp, and wherever it lands, that's the question I do. And I was ticking them off. There are some of them that have pencil ticks to them next to them, but at some point I sort of stopped doing that, and I'm like, oh, because now I don't, and I'm like, I think at one point I was doing them in a space where I didn't have a pen or a pencil near me, and I didn't tick them off, and now I'm like, oh no, like I don't know if I've done that question already. I was originally ticking them off so that I knew that I'd done it, but I guess it doesn't matter, because if you're a professional tarot reader, you probably will get over the years people asking the same or similar questions, right? Especially when it comes to like relationships and stuff, or like work, like looking for work or things like that. So I guess it doesn't matter. Maybe I start ticking them off again. Maybe I think I might start ticking them off again, just so I know I'm a completionist. But yeah, so it's that essentially. And sometimes I will write the questions down and draw cards, and I will write it in. I don't do it in my tarot journal. I don't use my tarot journal is for my personal practice, but I might just grab like an A4 notepad and like, you know, write it out. I don't usually write it in like an action unless they're practice questions from a course that I'm doing and I'm using a notebook for that. I'm just going to be using like an A4 notebook, like legal pad, you know what I mean, right? And then chucking that in a ring binder. But again, 9 times out of 10 I'm pulling this out, I'm like usually sat on my bed, to be honest, and I've got like my rain sounds, my thunderstorm sounds on my laptop going to like zone me out, and I'm just like pulling cards, I'm slinging cards, and I'm like just doing boom boom. And what I tend to do is I speak them out loud. Sometimes I find, like, as I've seen, it's interesting, I was on a Discord server, a tarot Discord server, just yesterday I think it was, or the day before, where people are using this book for practice questions, and someone was saying that they actually find it easier to write their reading out rather than verbalizing it. And that's interesting because I've realized if I'm reading for myself, like if I'm doing a week ahead reading, a daily reading, or a reading for like a specific thing I've got going on, or just because I fancy it, I tend to sort of inwardly monologue. I'll inwardly sort of talk through, I'll like work out what that means to me. Occasionally I'll say it out loud, but most of the time it's in my head. Sometimes I'll look at the guidebook for the deck or some of my favourite like tarot books if I want like a little bit of extra something to chew on, or if I want like if you know, Shadowland Tarot for example, I want a prompt to like chew on as well. But I don't sorry, I've lost the thread of what I was talking about because I got distracted by looking at them. This is where my brain is. By seeing the case that my earpods in, and my brain went, oh, you need to charge that, and now I've distracted myself. I need to pause and get back to what I was speaking. I need to remember what I was speaking about. That was it. I remembered it. It happened really quickly. I remembered really quickly. Squirrel brain. The struggle is real. So yeah, and then I don't always. I go through phases. I do have a tarot journal, and I will generally, as a rule, I try to write them down, especially if they're bigger readings. I'm writing them down. If it's just like a daily draw, so for example I did a daily draw yesterday, I'm pointing over there because the card is on my tarot trolley. It's the Ace of Swords from the Penumbra Tarot. Let me just grab it. So this was a daily draw I did yesterday. It's on my altar, my little tarot trolley, my altar thing, and I didn't write anything about that in my tarot journal. I just sort of took it as a message in the morning and just sort of went about my day, and would sort of have it there as I walk past my altar and just sort of consider it and what have you. Other times I will journal for daily draws, but generally as a rule, if it's going to be, if I'm feeling low energy, or if I'm just not feeling like it, or I don't have time, and it's going to be a barrier to me sitting down and writing the tarot spread, is going to be a barrier to me actually doing the tarot spread, I just won't write it. I'll just do what I did yesterday and just get on with my day and leave it. And I can always go back and tend to take a picture on my phone, so I can, and then obviously the date is attached to that and the information, so I can always go back over the week if I've done daily draws and just sort of look at them. There's been times where I've used Instagram to share my readings, my daily readings or week ahead readings, to help me be accountable, but also to show people how I read in text form. So there's a bit of show me how you practice on my Instagram account, my personal Instagram account. I haven't done much of that this year, but I was doing it quite heavily towards the sort of like summer through autumn last year. I was doing quite a bit of that. Again, so it's just phases, because I tend to like burn myself out on stuff, or I hyper focus on a thing and then I get bored of it, and then I tend to like come back around. I'm consistently inconsistent, as I like to say. So yeah, and eventually you sort of, things will, you know, I have habits, but they're not habits. Does that make sense? So yeah, so, but all that is to say, I'm like, oh, what is this? It's a hot mess. That's what it is. When I'm doing these, was what I meant to say is, yes, sometimes I will write them down, but actually my favourite way of getting to the point eventually is to actually speak them out. I pretend that that client is either sitting in front of me, or I'm filming a video I don't know, I keep doing that, fuck me, a video reading for them, and I am speaking my working, and I'll still take a moment to like sit, think it through, formulate, and then start to talk, as I think most readers do. They don't just throw the cards down and suddenly go, oh, this is what this means. Oh, you might do, I don't know, I'd be impressed if you did. But yeah, so practice readings. Let's do another one. Berry, B-U-R-Y, Berry, let's sing like Berry, your dad. Which of my personality traits attracts love? Should we do? We've got some spread, okay, because it's spooky season essentially. I've got, as a pip deck, I've got my Del Toro, and I've got my Halloween, my Kaplan Halloween. Let's go with Halloween. love these decks. I love both of them. Let's go with Halloween because it's playful and fun. The Del Toro is a bit darker. Oh, I can see decks, 3 cards that are upside down. What the heck? Why are you upside down? Let's just check they're all right, because I'm not in a reading reversals stage in my life right now. Just don't, you know. Did you miss me? Like I'm locking Kopf, yeah? So I did take a tarot deck with me to Scotland, in case you were wondering. I took the Druidcraft tarot because it just felt very like last year. I went to Scotland in October and I took my mini version of this. To be honest, this is a deck I use all year because but it gets specifically hardcore play during spooky season because obviously. And now I'm gonna be careful not to roll. I'm gonna be careful because I could very easily roll over that card there. Okay, sorry. Did you miss the chaos? What was I saying? I took the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle with me as well last year. This year I only took the Druidcraft Tarot, and I did a daily, well, I'd say a daily draw. I did a draw every day that I was in Scotland, apart from one of my rest days, because I was so utterly exhausted. I basically had like 3 naps that day, and I had a lie-in and I went to bed early. I was utterly, that was on the one of the weekends. I was just like, but yeah, I took the Druidcraft. It was nice to take that with me, and I did take the guidebook with me, and I took a notebook with me, and so I did write those down, and I just used that notebook as a bit of a journal as well, and just wrote in what we did whilst we were like there. And what else did I write about? I just did some like note taking on the guidebook when I was reading bits of the guidebook. So yeah, it was good. And I was thinking it was going to be the deck that I was going to use for the live chat last week with Anna, but I ended up being like, no, I need something that's like actually spooky. So anyway, what was the question? Oh my god, I'm supposed to be asking a question. Where was it? Buttholes. Where is it? Berry. There we go. Which of my personality traits attracts love? And that doesn't have to be romantic love. It could be the love of your family, the love of your friends, love of your colleagues. Mother. I'm going to have to pause because some of them have flown quite far away, and I can't keep using time in my videos for like getting up and walking away from my desk, because that's not fun to watch and also time consuming. Oh, it didn't pause. Keep not. Okay, I picked them up. There was like 3 cards that went flying. I've got a box right by my chair and it keeps getting in the way. A box of books, because I've run out of space on my bookcase, and I'm now, so far this year, this year, yeah, did those go upside down? No. I've done 3 boxes of books off of my bookcase to make room for other books, because I had piles of books all around the flat because I didn't have space for them. So I've basically put away books that I've read or books that I want to read but I'm not in the mood to just yet, and put them in boxes. And also left a little bit of room for new books, because books, wow. Anyway, this isn't about books, this is about tarot. No, it actually is about books, because this is literally a book. Oh my god, okay. Berry. I'm just going to take that as the answer. It's because I'm talking and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. Wow, how did it go over there? Okay, I'm going to pause it, hold on. Oh my god, it's the Lovers. It's the Lovers. So, Berry wants to know which of their personality traits attracts love. I'm gonna... The Lovers, that's amazing. Sorry, also I should just show this card because it's funny. Come on. Come on, camera. Oh my god. Okay, right, so that's the card. And so obviously when we think of, well, not obviously, why do I keep saying obviously like it's just a foregone like conclusion? we can think about the lovers in different ways, right? We can think about the lovers as a choice, which is very Marseille-ish when you've got those two, the three characters and one person either side, and we've got the, not always, but sometimes often the Cupid or the angel shooting an arrow. There's a choice being made. We think about connection, we think about love, obviously romance, passion. Doesn't always have to be a, you know, again, a romantic relationship. But I like the idea of what of their personality traits, you know, attracts love. Maybe, I mean, we've got the vampire, we've got Dracula coming in to Lucy. I'm going to say, is it Lucy or Mina? It could be Lucy or Mina, right? Because Lucy and Mina got letters, but then it's Mina that was getting letters from Jonathan. I don't know. And it was Lucy that Dracula kept going to visit initially, right? Let's say it's Lucy, but that's a weird power dynamic, so maybe don't. But you know what I mean. Should I just sack this entire video off like 35-36 minutes into it? No, it's fine. Let's just keep going. You gotta like work through the pain and the rustiness and just put it up and see what happens. So yeah, maybe their personality, maybe they're a bit of a flirt. Maybe they're quite passionate and they're quite good at creating, Barry, this is the person asking this question, is quite good at like creating, like developing connections with people and like sort of reciprocity. Very, very good at sort of being quite charming and charismatic, and people are sort of attracted to that. But maybe there is a sign with this particular deck, right? There's an element of a warning, like be careful that you are, there's one thing being flirty, but there's another thing like sending like signals that are not, writing checks you can't cash, right? Like don't be winding someone up or like tagging someone, like what's the word, not pulling someone along, tagging someone along, what's the term when you're like having someone on, like you're letting them think that you feel a certain way about them but you don't. Anyway, don't be doing that. Like there's nothing wrong with flirting. I can be a terrible flirt, but like if I'm like with my friends, like we all know what each other's like and what our boundaries are, and we know that it's just like fun flirting. But you know what I mean, like, so maybe Berry is like very charismatic, very charming like Dracula, possibly a little manipulative, but people are very attracted to his exuberance and his ability to form connections. Maybe he's hypnotizing like Dracula does. So yeah, maybe there's a little warning there, like just be careful who you're stringing along. Fucking remembered it. Yes. Thanks, brain, it came along for me, it came through for me. So yeah, that's a practice reading. Anyway, do you know what? I had another way of show me how you practice thing that I do, but this video is already so long. I don't want to torture you all. Obviously, you don't all, any of you that are watching don't have to watch. Obviously. There's the obviously again. I'm annoying myself now, but this has gotten long. So I'm going to save the other thing I was going to share for another video, because that will also probably be long as well. Because it me. But yes, how do you practice? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to have a look at some of the other VRs to this tag. Thank you, Anna, for creating this tag. It's really, really fun. And it was a little spiky the way that she created it. It's a little spicy. Like, come on, folks. Like, get off your asses and, like, show us what you're doing. And we like looking at decks. It's fine. But let's see how you practice. Let's see the goods. We want to see the goods. But also yeah, and I really liked that. It's like prodding people into, like, you know, and getting people to watch and engage as well, right? Because we don't want this to just be like looking at nice decks and not going any further, the discussion not going any further, or not learning. We can learn from each other by seeing how we can learn from each other by like sharing our thoughts and ideas about tarot. I'm a hand talker, folks. So yes, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know if you would like to actually see like a you know, a more video. Another brain fog. It's a thing. Another video of maybe like me just doing readings from this. Would you like that? Maybe we can use just spooky decks. Asking questions, show me how you practice. Maybe that would be fun. Let me know. And yeah, questions, comments as always in the comments box. And yeah, thank you to Anna for this. Oh, housekeeping. My shop is open. There is stuff in there, pouches and a couple of notebook covers. I was meant to be working on more pouches this week. Stuff is a bit of a nightmare. One of my the company that supplies the vegan recycled felt that I use has discontinued like 3 of my favorite colors, which is a mustard, a burnt orange and a periwinkle blue. It's really hard to get hold of anywhere, and I haven't been able to find a replacement, and any replacements that are available are either wool, recycled wool, or like straight up just acrylic, not recycled. So unless I never want to use those colors again, I'm gonna have to try and figure out what I'm gonna do with those, with making those pouches in those colors. But I will have some pouches, new pouches coming. I've tentatively penciled in Sunday the 20th of October for a restock. I'm just gonna see how my body's doing, how my health is doing, whether I'm like, you know, I've got some medical appointments coming up, stuff, you know, so I just need to slow my roll because I don't want to burn myself out for Christmas. So, oh my god, Christmas, right? We haven't even had Halloween yet, but I need to like really think ahead and plan things at the moment. So yeah, tentatively, yeah, but I'm at a point where I'm really like quite low on a lot of colours and felt, and I do have a bunch of new exciting charms, so that's fun. That I've been using. Fidget. What else? I'm looking over here. Sorry, that's very rude of me. I'm looking over here because I do have a box of pouches. These 5 are sewn up. That's all I managed to do this week in between other stuff that I had going on and not feeling very well. These ones are already cut. Yes, there is the leopard print, the furry leopard print fabric. I have no more of this left. I think I either have none left or enough for 1 left, and if it is 1 left, it might be a smaller pouch. This was fabric I've had in my collection, my stash, for years, probably about 15-20 years, and I've gradually been using it over those years for various projects. I made anyway, you don't know. I've used it for various projects over the years, and all, including pouches. And I have had, these have been wildly popular. I've had so many people message me on Etsy, on Instagram, underneath my videos, underneath my YouTube community posts, asking for these, or can they pre-order them, or can they I have people saying, can I like reserve it? I can't really reserve stuff like when I'm doing a shop drop, and it's like it really is first come first serve because it's the way that like Etsy runs. But once they're gone, they're gone. I did consider trying to find some more of this fabric, but it's very expensive, it turns out. This was like, ow, I just got a needle right down my fucking nail, ow. I got this as like an ends of like, in an ends bin. There was like 2 meters in a bin, and it was the end of the roll or something, or like, you know what I mean, when you go into haberdashery shops years and years ago. I've got it, but to buy it new, firstly I try not to use new fabric unless it's recycled or dead stock. So unless I can find some in a bin somewhere, and I'm not really looking in haberdashery shops at the moment, maybe that's something I need to change. Wow, this got so rambly, but yeah, all that is to say, I will have some more. I'll have these and hopefully some other stuff as well to come. I don't know what else. I'm just still working stuff out. Wow, this has gotten really boring. I'm even bored of hearing myself talk. So I'm gonna go finish my probably now quite cold tea. Wow, I don't want to end it on a Debbie Downer though. So yeah, if you have made it this far, I'm gonna do what Anna does in homage of Anna, the creator of this tag. Show me how you practice. If you made it to the end, type the word in the comments. Pumpkin. The emotional support. It's so cute. I've called it Percy because I have to like give everything a personality. This is Percy Pumpkin, and it's my emotional support pumpkin, and that's my actual real life emotional support pumpkin. But she doesn't always appreciate being picked up off the bed when she's having a nap, so I'm not going to do that to her because she is her own little furry person, a furson, if you will. So yes, yes, comment pumpkin, and yeah, I will see you in the next one. Yeah, ciao.